Good evening, everybody. Rob here at WesternPacificWeather.com. Currently, we are watching Typhoon Chaba here just to the south of Okinawa on the 27th of October 2010. Also, a few other events going on right now. A very strong cold surge moving in off of Asia up here down to the south, bringing actually very cold temperatures here in South Korea. Temperatures right around 30 to 40 degrees Fahrenheit, so right about 0 to 10 degrees Celsius throughout much of this region here, and very cooler temperatures throughout much of the islands here in Japan as well. But right now, though, the biggest story of the day, though, is this Typhoon Chaba or Katrina, moving slowly into the north here towards Okinawa. And we're going to zoom in on this satellite picture, showing the high definition MT sat here. Still a very organized system today, really strengthened up right now, right around 100 knots, sustained winds in the core of this system, but a very elongated northern periphery here. A lot of this is just serious overcast, some embedded rainstorms in this system, especially right in this region. Farther down to the south, very good equatorial outflow as well. So this system is really elongated north to south, but this has actually allowed it to strengthen a lot throughout today. There's a lot of good exhaust coming out of this region. It's still a surface temperature is about 80 to 85 degrees throughout the areas just below the storm. So a really high heat surface content here, allowing the system to build. Another thing I want to note here is this stratus farther out here. It's in the East China Sea right in here. Now this is indicating that cold surge mentioned earlier. Now if we look at the surface chart, you can see a very tight gradient here as this storm starts to interact with this high pressure moving off of Asia here. It's really going to tighten up this gradient, especially in much of the southern Ryukyu Islands here. You can kind of see the winds already picking up in there. Some of these islands reporting about 40 to 45 knot wind sustained. And also if we look at ship, you can see about a 51 knot sustained wind rate in here with 30 and 33 knots farther up here. And also already up to about 25 to 24 knots in these southern Ryukyu Islands. This isn't really directly from the storm, as it's still pretty far to the southeast, but as already noted, that gradient-induced winds, the interaction with the storm, and farther up here to the high, farther to the north. And even if you look farther up here to the north, 39 to 25 knot winds. So these are all basically ship observations throughout here. Just to ignore this one right here, this 170 knot wind. I actually saw that yesterday. Was a little worried about it, but that's been pretty much staying there, and this ship should have moved out of that region by now. So just another thing to note, got to debunk that one. And as already stated, a very strong storm still here. This MT-SAT microwave imagery here taken this evening on Wednesday, showing a very well-defined eye wall, and even an outer eye wall starting to form out of this system around especially the eastern periphery. But still in the northern periphery, a lot of strong advection farther up here in the north. I noted those embedded thunderstorms. Those are really indicated here by the red, extending out to the south here. And also, if we look at radar imagery out of Okinawa, we can already see some of these outer rain bands working their way north towards Okinawa. So definitely would likely to see some really strong embedded thunderstorms beginning this evening into tomorrow morning, even before these tropical storm force winds start to really set in here on the main island. Still going to get these strong thunderstorms that could even bring some gusty winds higher than 25 to 30 knots throughout much of this region. And as we zoom in and loop this radar imagery here, you can really see the northerly progression, missing a frame there, but you can really see the northerly progression of this system. So definitely something to note here. And also as this works farther north, I already noted that gradient-induced wind, so that could actually start acting on some of these southern Ryukyu Islands, and possibly even up here by getting tomorrow morning, see some really gusty winds up in that entire region, upwards of about 30 to 40 knots due to that gradient-induced. But beginning definitely by tomorrow evening, afternoon into evening, some sustained tropical storm force winds will really be setting in for Okinawa. Looks like the storm is going to CPA the island about less than 50 nautical miles to the east. So right now it looks like it's just going to be skirting these typhoon strength winds. So it looks like about a maximum, about a Category 1 equivalent of a hurricane typhoon strength winds on the islands themselves based on the current track. And this is really fair confidence. Most of the models are matching up what JTWC is saying here. And also looking at the streamline analysis, it's really pretty obvious as this storm is going to make this track towards the north and eventually off to the northeast as it gets picked up by the upper level jet farther up in here. But right now, though, looks like CPA will be on Friday morning towards Okinawa, with the wind starting to die off by afternoon into evening time. This moves off farther to the north and eventually making landfall a second time up in Honshu and possibly Shikoku farther up here to the north. But right now, though, another thing I want to note was with these outer rain bands, even if the system is going to CPA just to the east of Okinawa, don't discount these outer rain bands producing some heavy rain showers, thunderstorms, and even embedded tornadoes within these systems. Definitely some fast-moving tornadoes are possible in these outer rain bands. And also to note that, as you can see, this western periphery doesn't really extend out very far. Well, that's also because of this interaction with the cold surge here and that tight gradient really shearing it up. So even though the system is CPAing just to the east, don't discount the fact that you're still going to see those gusty winds and possibly up above 50 knots as the system does CPA, just basically to that gradient farther out to the west west here. Really strong winds and very dangerous situation as far as that. So already looking at seas out here above about 20 to 30 feet throughout this entire region. And that's already just showing the overall turbulence caused by this. And also want to show you real quickly Kadeena's forecast here. It's really rare that they put these typhoons on the 5-day rating here. So definitely one thing to note that this looks like pretty intense and they're really taking the system serious there. Okinawa has been put in a T-Core 2 for everybody there on a basis as well. I know all civilians really don't know what that means, but it basically just saying that the bases have to get so much ready upwards of 24 hours out right now. So definitely one thing to note there. And on a separate note, as we move farther to the south away from Chaba up here, going to the south here, you can see on this Google Earth map a 7.7 earthquake struck this region here in Indonesia just a few days ago. Upwards of about 300 people confirmed dead now and over 500 people missing. So a very scary situation down there overall with the ensuing tsunami. Actually about 5 tidal waves hit the island of Sumatra here and along the Indonesian coast overall, and many of these islands here saw a tsunami as well. So just another thing to note, there's a link here on my webpage, westernpacificweather.com. It takes you to CNN, just up-to-date information on that. So that is all for today, everybody. Thank you for listening to westernpacificweather.com. We will not have another update till tomorrow evening, so please stay safe and listen to your local emergencies and warning watches up in this entire region here in the Ryukyu Islands. Also keeping track with JTWC and JMA's forecast as well. So if you have any questions, though, please just field them here to me at westernpacificweather.com. Also find me at stormtk.org. Plenty of meteorological sound people there as well. And lastly, if you are on Facebook, you can add westernpacificweather.com to your Facebook fan page. So thank you, everybody, for listening, and have a great day and stay safe out there. Bye.